hello, and welcome to Unique Couples Sunday Night Live. It is so good to see all of you here. We are in for a treat, or maybe not a treat, but at least one of those conversations that we need to have and don't really have. And so I'm excited to share with you how toxic is your relationship. How toxic is your relationship? We don't want to think about it being toxic. Some of us are in these toxic relationships and we're probably not aware of it or don't even realize that that is exactly what is happening. So, how toxic is your relationship? And the next part of that is what are you doing about it? Okay. And what are you doing about it? So, join us, Go ahead. Live squad, if you're watching with me live, go ahead and hashtag live squad. If you are catching the replay, hashtag replay. And then go ahead, invite some people to come on, join, watch this, and subscribe to our Unique Couples YouTube channel. And so, yeah, definitely stay tuned. And let me see if I can show you again what our topic is. Yes, stop. How toxic is your relationship? How toxic is it? We are definitely going to rate that. Okay, we are definitely going to rate that. So when you think about your relationship, it could be your marriage, it could be just maybe you're not married and you are in a relationship with someone. What is happening with those areas? So I am Linda Wright-Patrick, part the other half or the better half or the whatever half of Vito and Linda. And I am so glad to be here with you. If you have any questions, type it in the chat. Let us know your takeaways. And if you have not joined our exclusive Unique Couples private group and community, Unique Couples Marriage Club, be sure to go ahead, hashtag club in the comments, and we will get you your spot. And of course, if you want to book your one-on-one relationship check-in session with Vito and I or myself, you can go ahead and click the link in the description. So do you feel anxious, like thinking about or being around your significant other? These are some things that you have to think about. And I want you to think about what it's like to really gauge if you are really in a toxic relationship. Okay, so we want to definitely check that out. Are you in a toxic relationship? Do you feel, or does your significant other make you feel the need to prove yourself? Do you feel the need to prove yourself? Do you have to constantly tell lies? Or are you afraid to show who you really are? Okay, so are these things that are happening? Are you even afraid to call out? Like, Vito, yeah, I need something from you. Get it for me, please. I don't know. Like, I was on a trip last week and I think I still have not recovered like bodily from it. And so I am really overheated and I haven't even really started talking this yet. So Vito, please, somebody help me. All right. I am really overheating here. Okay. So and this conversation is something that really sticks or really kind of like it's close to me at home because I need a napkin. Yeah, it really is close to me at home because um I grew up around or in a domestic situation where I've seen and been around domestic violence, not just in my home, but around as well, and just seeing that and growing up in that area. So I've seen a lot of this toxic behavior displayed, and it has really, really kind of impacted me. And so when I think about speaking about this topic, it really does something for me. And so I do really get excited and overheated and all of those different things. But I want to take time to share with you on stop, how to Stop. How toxic is your relationship? Okay. So I needed my border as well. Okay. So how toxic is your relationship? So if you're in a relationship, you cannot count on or call on your spouse and it's an issue, then of course that is a problem. If you're in a relationship with someone and you're not married and they make you feel like you're in their presence and they make you feel whether it's terrified, they make you feel as if you can't be yourself, they make you feel as if you have to constantly prove yourself, then you may definitely be in a toxic relationship. Okay, you may definitely be in a toxic relationship. So those are some things that we want to look at. So do you is your spouse constantly finding fault with everything you do or say? Is this something for you? Are you constantly being criticized? It's like nothing you do, nothing you say is right. Something is always wrong. You're always the one to be finding fault with. Your spouse doesn't take any responsibility. Everything is wrong with what you are doing. Okay, so do you find yourself having those issues in your relationship? And does your spouse make you feel like you are not enough? Or maybe your boyfriend or girlfriend, whoever it is, your significant other, like you can never get anything right. You can't say anything right. You can never say the right thing or do the right thing or even be the right person. Your relationship is toxic if you are doing any of the following. So I have 7 things that you really need to look at. And before I go there, I want to say sometimes when we look at these toxic relationships, sometimes it's the environment. Like we create this environment of not being able to be open and express ourselves to our partner. So we could create that environment. We can create the environment that, oh, you have to be right and perfect all the time. So if you have that environment and you create that, if you go against that, then it's going to create this toxic environment. So do you have that in your home, or can you step in your home and know that it's peace and tranquility and acceptance and love and care and concern and not danger and fighting, and you have to always constantly be um on your best behavior or your best of whatever because you're in this environment. And then there's the part where you can be the one creating this toxic environment. You can be the toxic person who is doing all of these things. So I have 7 areas or 7 things, some points that I want to share with you. And ask yourself, or I want you to really evaluate, okay, whether or not your relationship is toxic, and then we can rate it after we're finished. So your relationship is toxic if you are doing the following. Number 1, being called names. So if your partner is constantly calling you names, and I mean names, not the name that you want to be called, but constantly calling you names, then you are in a toxic relationship. Name calling, and not, oh, hi beautiful or hi handsome or any of those different things, but names as in you are never, you could never, curse words, demeaning, degrading names, then that is a toxic environment. You are in a toxic relationship. Number 2, if you're in a toxic relationship if you are being disrespected or mocked about physical features. Oh, your nose is too big, your hair is this way, your eyes is this way, you look like, you're black like, you're white like, you're whatever, comparing you to someone else. So whether you're being mocked about your physical characteristics or features or things that you like or your wants or even how you speak. And believe it or not, I know some of you are thinking, oh, no, that doesn't happen. And I'm speaking to someone because I know it is happening for someone in their relationship. And if it is happening, I want to tell you, I'm here to tell you that you are in a toxic relationship. And what are you going to do about it? Because that is not a healthy space. If it's not healthy, it is toxic. Okay? If it's not healthy, it is toxic. Number 3, your relationship is toxic if you are constantly, or maybe even occasionally, it doesn't really matter. It could be constantly or occasionally insulted. Your significant other is constantly insulting you, or occasionally when something goes wrong or they're upset and they're insulting you, that is a toxic relationship. Okay, that's a sign of toxic behavior. Number 4, you are arguing constantly. It's almost as if it's round the clock and it's about everything and nothing. Little things, big things, in between things. It's like it doesn't even matter. It's just that you're in this state of always finding something wrong, something to complain about, something to argue about, something to fight about, something to be on the opposite sides of your spouse. And your spouse is doing that to you. Your significant other is doing that to you. They're constantly on the opposite side. That is not a healthy space to be. I'm not saying that you won't argue. I'm not saying that you won't have differences of opinions, but I'm saying that if you're not constant, like you guys can never agree on anything. They're constantly arguing. It is if you say white and then he says black, and if you said up and it's down for him and you can never meet on a middle ground, then definitely a lot of toxicity is in your relationship. And number five, your relationship is toxic if you have to avoid certain conversations to maintain peace. Like you're afraid to talk about certain things because you don't want her to get upset. You don't want him to get upset. It's like you're afraid. So you avoid those things just to make sure that you don't get in an argument or that you don't fight. And that is not a great place to be. I mean, who likes that? Who likes to just kind of like be on edge all the time? And if that is the position you are in, on edge all the time, that is not a great place to be. Okay, so that is a toxic environment. Number six, you are always walking on eggshells because you don't know what may trigger or make your significant other upset. Related to number 5 as well, right? So if you're constantly in a state of, just kind of like on the edge and expecting something negative, it's like you're in this constant state of flight. Your stress level is going to be extremely elevated. And of course, that can lead to lots of definitely stress, right? But lots of health problems and mental issues as well. Okay. Emotional adjustments and stuff like that you'll have to worry about because you are so stressed. Okay. So it can play a really negative, it can really impact your body negatively. So if you're in that constant, always in the getting ready, bracing for something bad and expecting this negative because that is the environment you're in. If you are in that environment, I'm asking you, what are you doing about it? And then number 7, you are in a toxic relationship or your relationship is toxic, and hopefully you're not the one promoting and displaying this toxicity, or you're not the one giving it out. And if you are, then of course you need to stop. And if you are in a relationship and your significant other is the one who's doing that, then of course y'all need to have some serious conversations. So go ahead, contact Vito and I. Link is in the description, in the comments, and book your relationship health check so that you can make sure that you are on the right level, the right place you need to be, and take out the toxicity out of your relationship. So number 7, you are constantly being negative. You are constantly being negative. And sometimes when you're in that environment where, everything is wrong, there's never any right, and there's only one person who can be right, you might begin to display that as well. You might begin to be and say and do all of the negative because that is what you get coming towards you. And so you react that way as well, which of course does not make the situation better. It does not make the situation better. So you're getting all this negative, and then you're giving off all of this negative as well. And then it spills over into your work, it spills over into your relationship with other people, with your children, everywhere you go, because you're so used to getting this negative, 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 and it's harping on you that you also give it out too. And so you have to watch out for that, because in this negative environment that you're in a toxic relationship, it will impact the rest of your life. It will impact the rest of your relationship. It will impact how well you sleep at night. It will impact how comfortable you are. It will impact your diet, your stress level. It's going to affect so many different things. And it is also going to affect how you look and how you age, whether you're going to be aging gracefully or whether it is going to be a hot mess. Because it matters. It makes a difference. The way you react and relate to each other, it really makes a difference. Oh my goodness, I've been talking all this time and I didn't even see my comments. Thanks for joining us, Deborah. I see you. I see you. All of you who are watching Live Squad. Go ahead, hashtag Live Squad. Hello, Julie. Thanks all of you who are watching. Your comments, put your comments in the chat. What stood out for you? Let me know your takeaways. If you have any questions, those of you who will watch the replay, let me know. And of course, if you want to get that one-on-one consultation help from Vito and I, go ahead and book your relationship check-in section. Go and click the link in the description and the comment. So on a scale of 1 to 5, this is the question. How toxic is your relationship? 1 is non-toxic. That means your relationship is not toxic. Woo, that's where we all want to be. Number 2 is barely toxic. Number 3 is moderately toxic. Number 4 is toxic. And number 5 is extremely toxic. Now, if you're at number 5 level, like you have all 7 of those categories probably going on, there might be even some other stuff that I didn't mention where you're getting physical. That could be a part of it as well. If you're being physically harmed in any way, and emotionally, and a lot of this has to do with emotional abuse as well. If that is happening, then you are like a number 5. What are you going to do about it? You have to love and care for yourself first, and you have to teach other people how to treat you. So do something about it. And it could start by just making the decision that you need to do something about it. Okay, so those of you who, hey, you're at number 1, great job. You're at number 2, barely toxic. You can still work on those areas. If you're name calling, you're constantly criticizing your spouse or even yourself, because a lot of these things we do to ourselves as well. You want to wean those. Some of the things you need to just stop right away. And some of the things you might have to gradually do because it has been a habit that you have constantly done, and now you need to unlearn the bad things and relearn some new things to put in that place. So instead of criticizing your spouse, think about something good you could say. Oh my goodness, sometimes you will need a magnifying glass to see the good in your spouse. But guess what? Pull it out and see and look. And even if it's just that one thing you can find, compliment that, promote that, praise that, and you will see how magically your relationship is going to change. So something small you can do to change your relationship. You want more advice, more tips, and things that strategies you can use, definitely go ahead. Join us in our Unique Couples Marriage Club, where you can stay motivated, inspired, and you can transform your marriage as you work on loving yourself as well as your spouse. So if you want to learn more about our exclusive marriage club, go ahead and hashtag club in the chat, or you can email us at uniquecouplesrekindle@gmail.com, or I think it's info@uniquecouples.com, and be a part of our Unique Couples Marriage Club today. The link is also in the description. And ladies, we have something just for you. Learn to leave him wanting more of your presence, your body, your mind, and get step-by-step instructions and insight on how to keep your husband satisfied on all levels as you think like a mistress and back it up with action. So, yes, it's here again, our annual Think Like a Mistress Masterclass. You don't want to miss it. Register to join. The link will be in the description, in the comments. Go ahead and register for our Think Like a Mistress Masterclass. You can also join us virtually, and it is May 22nd to 23rd at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do not miss your spot. Do not miss your spot, okay? And definitely stay away from those toxic relationships. Hello, hello. Stay away from those toxic relationships. I want to say a special thank you goes out to our Unique Couple sponsors and supporters. Hair to Please, the Nail Creation Lab by Anna, Party with Serenity, Style Me Pretty, Cornerstone Insurance, Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith, Total Grace Solutions with Thaddeus and Amanda Randolph, Alouette Designs. Remember, register today for the Think Like a Mistress Masterclass. You want to even unlearn some of those toxic behaviors that you are giving out and that you're receiving. You want to be a part of the Think Like a Mistress Masterclass because we are going to help you reshape the way you think of your relationship. So go ahead and hashtag masterclass if you want to be a part of that, or just click the link and join us for the Think to register for the Think Like a Mistress Masterclass. So, how toxic is your relationship? If you are at a 1, you are saying that your relationship is not toxic. And what I love about marriage and what I love about even doing this is that even if you're in a healthy space, and being in a healthy space makes it great, because guess what? Even in a healthy space, you can do things to make your relationship even healthier, because we're never stagnant. We're always growing. So we need to always grow and learn in our marriage as well. Okay, so if you're in a healthy space, that is great. Keep it up. Let's do some more. Let's get in our date nights. Let's join the Unique Couples Marriage Club and let's keep healthy. And if you are at 2 to 5 as it relates to toxicity in your marriage, go ahead and join us as well, because then you can learn. And then, of course, you need to probably do some one-on-one session or join us with our group session so that you can unlearn those toxic behaviors and learn what you need to do to really have that healthy relationship. And that healthy relationship starts with you, the relationship you have with yourself first. And that goes for husbands and wives, for men and women, for all of you, even those of you who are single. So, how healthy are you? How healthy is your relationship? How toxic is your relationship? And what are you doing about it? I had fun sharing with you. We are unique couples. We are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. Go ahead, join us as we build healthy marriages, starting with you. Love you all. Bye.